First up, democracy dying in darkness. The Washington Post just took a meat cleaver to itself, announcing roughly one third of its workforce is going to be laid off, hundreds of newsroom jobs. This is part of a broader pattern of flagship newspapers cutting back on their reporting staff and their capabilities. Matt, this raises the question of what this is going to do to the press's ability to check power in America.
The press is vital to accountability, and print media is dying. I think the real problem is what's replacing it. I mean, now we got silos that only report what you want to hear, and I think that's a major problem right now. Oh, it's a we see on X a lot where you are the media now, you are the press now, but news is not partisan. And without these major media outlets out there doing their job of holding accountable truth to power, as everybody likes to say, the issue is really becoming a problem for democracy.
I think that the overall trend is definitely a problem. Fewer reporters means fewer watchdogs. And you see this especially in state house coverage, local coverage. There is research that shows that when local papers close, municipal borrowing costs rise by 5 to 11 basis points because there's less oversight, there's worse governance. 50 million Americans have limited or no local news access. All of this is a problem for accountability and for informing a public who is seriously apathetic and misinformed. When it comes to the Washington Post itself, I'm going to zig on this one a little bit. I think this is kind of what you get when you destroy a media brand by moving toward a libertarian, ostensibly pro market slant opinion and journalism and away from your core brand. You lose hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I canceled my subscription to the Washington Post because they took this mealy mouth bullshit position on we're not going to endorse Kamala Harris because they wanted to suck up to Donald Trump. What's really amazing is that for a businessman as accomplished as Jeff Bezos with vision to see the kinds of long-term investments that will allow Amazon to thrive, they completely missed the boat with the Washington Post when it came to what it takes to compete in the modern news environment. The New York Times has moved from an ad-driven model to a subscription-first model, and they're growing 14% year over year growth in recent earnings reports, more than $1 billion of revenue annually from digital subscriptions. And they've basically made it a bundle thing. Most of their business is being driven by games and Wirecutter, but they're bundling it with the news business. That's become the on-ramp that keeps people paying for journalism. The Washington Post hasn't figured that out. They have a losing business strategy. They've alienated their opinion room. They've alienated their journalists, and they've alienated their subscribers. And yes, they're in a death spiral, and this is what they get.